Feliz mes de la herencia hispana. Yes, we are celebrating the Hispanic Heritage Month in the United States from September 15 to October 15. This is the month where more histories, cultural contributions from American citizens who have Hispanic heritage are shared. Now, confession time. Every year, I forget that the celebration starts in September, so I feel bad because I am Hispanic, I am an American citizen, I create Spanish curriculum for my students and families, and I keep forgetting. However, I did some reflection, and I do have some answers of why I keep forgetting. Some may surprise you. But also, I took the time to think about suggestions I want to share with you that you can get inspired and you can also join the celebration. So in this episode, be ready to be inspired and grab your pen or phone notes because I'm going to be sharing some amazing resources. Bienvenidos to the podcast for bilingual mindsets. I am Karim Morato, your host and Spanish language coach. You are in the right place if you want company in your bilingual journey for your family or for yourself. Mi casa es tu casa. ¿Listos? 1, 2, 3. Aquí vamos. Every year in the United States, organizations, groups celebrate the Hispanic Heritage Month. I already confessed to you that I tend to forget when the celebration starts. So I usually come to the celebration a little bit late. When I see a social media post or someone asks me about it, I go like, oh my gosh, yes, I need to do something about it. But I want to clarify. I don't forget because I don't think it's important. I forget because I'm really busy during the month of August and September, enrolling new students in my curriculum. And also, I am a homeschool mom, and also we are starting our school year in the month of September. But I do think that it is important to celebrate our Hispanic heritage here in the United States. But also, I have some ideas that I want to share with you. So to get you inspired and resources that you can bring home into your families and you can apply during the month just to be more intentional about the contributions and why we celebrate the Hispanic Heritage Month. So let's start with the question, why I keep forgetting? My conclusion is that I am always in Hispanic celebration mode, really. Every day, every week, month, every year, for more than 2 decades, I am always thinking about how my students and families and my program can learn more about the Hispanic culture and the contributions of the Latin people in the United States. But also, personally, as a mom, I am thinking in ways I can preserve our heritage in our families. Living here in the United States, I want my children and my future generations to know where mommy and papi came from. So technically, I do not forget because I am obsessed about celebrating life and connecting learning Spanish with the culture and people. You know my motto, languages are people. We learn a language because we want to connect with the people. Let me give you an example of what I did last week with my Spanish 3 course. I introduced my students to Jaime Escalante, a math professor from Bolivia. He left his engineering job to teach math in a high school in California. There is a movie about his contributions and a very controversial situation that happened to in the school. The students passed the AP Calculus test with a very high score, all of his students. And there was a situation there. So I don't want to tell you because I want you to watch the movie. The name of the movie is Stand and Deliver. So make sure to check it out because the movie is eye-opening. Some people do not know anything about the contributions of Hispanic people until we start sharing the information. I do think that it is important to have this month to share amazing stories and to highlight people that are making a difference in people's lives. Now, let's dive into the second point, why I think the month is important to be recognized and celebrate. So we already decided, I don't forget, so don't be mad at me. I am celebrating every day, right? But when I think about why we need to celebrate and recognize Hispanic heritage during this month, I think about we, the people that leave our country and move to a new country, and anything that reminds us about our country, our people, just feels amazing, especially when you see how people like you, that looks like you, are making contributions to society and the world, not just the United States, and how this is having an impact in the community. It just makes me feel seen and encouraged that we Hispanics are making a difference in this new country that we are living, and it has given us a new opportunity to start a new life. I'm going to be moving into my last point, which is the ideas and suggestions about how you can celebrate this month as a learner and with your family. And I'm going to start with some of my favorite ideas, movies. Yes, I love movies. I love movies about real people, about how ordinary people like you and me did extraordinary things. I already mentioned Stand and Deliver, the movie about Jaime Escalante, the math teacher who inspires students to dream for more. My favorite quote of the movie is when the teacher say, students will rise to the level of expectations. Wow, that's my favorite phrase in the movie. So if you are a teen or you have a teenager, I think that this is a must watch. It's super inspiring. The next movie that I love is Selena, famous singer from Texas, Tejana, who sadly was murdered. But in the few years that she was here on this earth, her family helped her launch her music career. And she reconnected also with her Mexican roots and also created a bridge between her Mexican culture and her Tejano culture. She has a song in English that, listen, every time I hear that song, I cry. The name of the song is I Could Fall in Love. Oh, it just makes me cry. I don't know if it's I Could Fall in Love Again. This song is so good. It's so good. But also, her Spanish music is so good. My daughter loves her Spanish music. So make sure to check out the movie Selena and make sure you check the release date, the one that is in 1997. I cry every time I see the movie. But don't forget to also check her Spanish music. Another inspiring movie is Cesar Chavez. What an amazing leader. He was the voice for migrant farmers in California who were mistreated and paid unfairly. He led a peaceful movement with conviction to bring attention to these issues from the whole world. So he made history. Michael Peña did a great job playing Cesar Chavez in the movie. Now, let's talk about some biographies. You can read about amazing people doing amazing things and also in history. You can find Spanish or bilingual books for all ages of your favorite Hispanic heroes. There are a few people in the STEM field that you can explore. Chan Diaz, first Hispanic astronaut, and also Dr. Ellen Ochoa. She's a woman astronaut. And also Jose Hernandez, he has an amazing story. He went from being a migrant farm worker to becoming an astronaut. The movie that was made, I think was last year, it is called A Million Miles Away. Listen, that movie is worth watching. It will make you feel that you have no excuses to do something that you feel is impossible. When it comes to books, oh my goodness, my head is exploding because This podcast will have to be 2 hours to talk about books. But the tip that I want to give you is that get books about the areas that you like or maybe that your children love. For example, sports. Roberto Clemente, was a Puerto Rican baseball player who played 18 seasons. Lionel Messi is the most famous soccer player. So get the books your family will love to read and make sure to get them bilingual in Spanish and English or just Spanish. What about politics? Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor is another person that has an amazing story, and there are many books for all ages that tell her story. Now let's talk about art. A famous artist is Frida Kahlo, Picasso. Also, we have designers like Carolina Herrera, Oscar de la Renta. And another fun themes are celebrations. For example, Independence Day in Central America and South America are huge celebrations. I enjoy learning how Mexicans celebrate their Independence Day. You have to watch videos about that. It's a lot of fun. You can hear their grito. They're screaming, Viva Mexico! Viva! Viva Mexico! Viva! It's a lot of fun. And other celebrations are like in Spain, La Tomatina, a Spanish festival in Buñol where thousands of people throw tomatoes at each other. It is considered the biggest food fight in the world. So celebrations are so many, and you can take the time to explore those celebrations. Now, let's talk about the role of music in the Hispanic heritage. Music unifies people. There are so many genres to explore. Salsa, cumbia, bachata, but also explore other music like classical music, rock. We have that in the Hispanic culture. Check out dances. We have in every country, there is a unique dance that you can explore and learn. One of my favorite dances is the cueca. My family and Bolivian friends, when they hear the cueca music, they start dancing. They take the napkins and they start waving those napkins and start dancing with each other. It's a beautiful dance. And another dance is flamenco. I was not too familiar with flamenco until I met a friend who has a flamenco online studio, and she showed me how beautiful this dance is. Check out the dress, the shoes, the body expressions, just like tango. That's another beautiful dance. Now, I know you're feeling overwhelmed at this point and you're like, stop, too many ideas. So let's wrap up this episode. I want you to consider bringing this celebration closer to your home. Here is a simple idea. Identify who is in your community that is making contributions and is Hispanic. Celebrate and highlight the people in your community, in your circle. Go and talk to them and ask them questions about their heritage, their country, celebrations, food. You're going to make them feel that you see them. Last year, I remember I participated in a series of social media posts during the month of September highlighting the Hispanic homeschooling families and leaders in the Latin world who are leading and fighting for homeschool freedom in their countries. It was an amazing experience just to highlight those families. Well, we come to the end of our episode, and I hope you gained some inspiration, insight about celebrating the Hispanic Heritage Month. I really appreciate this season of celebration and recognition. I also want to thank you, my listener. Thank you for choosing Spanish. Thank you for learning Spanish. When you speak Spanish, you are strengthening your community. You are telling Hispanics, I see you, and you are the reason I am learning Spanish. Hasta luego. Hola, are you a parent looking for guidance on helping your elementary age children learn Spanish? Make sure to sign up for my free parent webinar, How to Give Your Elementary Age Children an Authentic Spanish Learning Experience at Home, even when you do not speak the language. The link to register is on the show notes. Hasta luego. Hola, muchas gracias. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you found value and encouragement in this episode. It will mean the world to me to know how this podcast is impacting you. Por favor, please take a few minutes to let me know and leave a review. When you leave a 5-star review, it will help others discover the podcast. Do not forget to subscribe. See you soon. Hasta luego.